Right, come on then. Let's have this. Let's do it. Let's talk about it. Arsenal 2, Olympiacos 3. Olympiacos join, who is it? Monaco and Anderlecht in scoring 3 goals at the Emirates Stadium in recent history. Diabolical result and a pretty poor performance to go with it. Where to start, I suppose, with the team selection. Aaron Ramsey rotated out. I understand that. Nacho Monreal maybe to a lesser extent. The goalkeeper's a really interesting one. Arsene, I'm sure we'll talk about it after the game. A slight calf strain for Petr Cech, but for me, if he's fit enough for the bench, he's fit enough to play. I would not have fielded David Ospina in this game, and the consequences of that were pretty dire. An own goal from Ospina, terrible error, really, patting that ball down over his own line. As listeners to the podcast will know, I've long suspected that he had this in his locker. I've never really bought into Ospina. I've always felt he was a liability under high balls, and we saw that tonight. I don't take too much satisfaction from the vindication because obviously the consequences are pretty severe for Arsenal. I mean, it was a horrific error, as bad as anything we've seen from a keeper in recent seasons. I've tried to think of ways it could be worse. I've settled on maybe if his shorts came down, Willie out. Would that have been worse? I don't know. Yeah, maybe, but not by much. Honestly, it was humiliating. And the thing is, I know you've got to keep the squad fresh. I know we've got Manchester United on Sunday, but according to Arsene Wenger, this is one of the 2 competitions out of the 4 that is a genuine priority to him. It's not a domestic cup; it's the Champions League. It's the sort of thing it's the thing he wants to win most. So why run the risk of playing a second choice goalkeeper? So that calf strain better be pretty serious. And I think if it is, Cech wouldn't be on the bench. That's what I keep coming back to. There are other problems in the performance. After a bright start with a couple of counter-attacks, we didn't really click. There's some decent play from Walcott and Alexis, both scored, assisting each other. I think they are developing an understanding, and I expect Walcott to start against United on Sunday. His run of starts and goals continues, but so frustrating. And given that we lost in Zagreb, a real hindrance for us in terms of our hopes of progressing to the next phase of the competition. I think the English teams in the Champions League now have played 6, won 1, lost 5. Why is that? For me, it's all about attitude rather than ability. I don't buy that English teams don't have the best players. I mean, they don't have Messi and Ronaldo, but beyond that, there are still outstanding players in this team, in this Arsenal team. Cazorla, Ozil, Alexis. I think it's an attitudinal problem. I think it comes from the very top. I don't think Arsene gives some of these opposition the respect they deserve. I'm not saying Olympiacos are great shakes, but I'm saying, did we do the necessary due diligence on them? Did we know how they'd line up? Did we develop a game plan to counteract that, to deal with the kind of defensive unit that we'd face? I'm not sure. Did we think about their threat on the counter? And I just naturally want us to be switched off. We scored the equaliser within 59 seconds, we're behind again. It's really not good enough. And it's an embarrassing result, really, an embarrassing start to the European campaign. Fortunately, Bayern Munich coming up next. When we've beaten them twice, we'll be laughing about this. We'll look back and we'll chuckle, won't we? Anyway, what are you doing Thursdays? Got any plans? Keep it clear if I were you. Cheers.